Yeah, bye. All right, XOXO. Got a girl. Audra at Home is filmed in front of a live Pitbull audience. Good morrow and merry meet. My name is Audra and you are in for a treat. All right, welcome and/or welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we are going to be doing a fun, yes, you are watching, I am doing it, so we are going to do this together. I heard about this tag from my friend Millie of Bad to the Brow, and it is the Content Creator Confessions tag. Apparently it was in fact created by Better Off Red and Kate the Great Beauty, both creators here on the YouTube platform. And now I'm going to do it because
why not?
Now, before we get started, I had asked in a previous video if any of you were interested in seeing a look from the Odin's Eye Angelica Nyquist Gila palette, and I did in fact put one together for you. Let's come in closer, shall we? So first of all, the extreme blush highlight thing is not, listen, I had some inspiration from RuPaul. I'm gonna throw this picture in here. And I'm really just like on this blush ambition thing. But yeah, here is the eye look. On the outer, I have Ouroboros out here. Here I have River. Right here, Fluorescence. Right here, the pinky pink is Goddess. Underneath here, I have Underworld, Wolf, and Soot. And in my inner eye corner, double-sided. Anywho's, with that out of the way, let us get into the nitty-gritty of this tag. All right, question one. How do you feel about the term influencer, and do you feel you are one? Listen, I'm probably about to be more honest than I should, but I don't consider myself an influencer. I'm really not even a content creator. I am a person who, I'm a creative person who creates content for Patreon that I occasionally put on YouTube. Beginning end of March and moving forward, I am almost exclusively creating for Patreon. I kind of made an unspoken goal that if my Patreon and channel members added up to equal or more than what I made from YouTube, I was going to go ahead and switch my focus, because honestly, YouTube is extremely stressful, and working the hours that I work, I cannot put up content at the rate that I could for working other jobs, or even when I was unemployed, obviously. And I just realized I didn't want to keep up with the rat race. I didn't want to stress over the YouTube algorithm. I definitely did not want to be looking at my analytics to see how poorly I am doing. I am progressively earning less and less money from YouTube. And the reason that I'm able to keep creating content and be able to like purchase a few things here and there, and not just like palettes and makeup, but also equipment, software, all of that stuff, I'm able to do that because of my patrons. And now that it's hit that point, almost like all my content will be going to Patreon first and foremost. And and like the fun part about it is like I don't have to give a shit about YouTube's algorithm anymore. Like if I get lost in the algorithm, I get lost in the algorithm. I don't understand how it works. I don't know how the CPM works, like any of that stuff. And I'm honestly just like tired of trying to figure it out. I'm also a person of color, so I also know that like pushes me in different places in the algorithm, and I didn't want to worry about it anymore. I feel like that makes me less creative, and then I truly am just making content. Hi, and welcome to the elaboration station, where I elaborate on points that I maybe didn't do so well on in the video. And I just wanted to say, that is not to say that I'm not completely grateful and so happy for like everyone who's come to my channel. It's not that I won't be posting to YouTube. It's just that like some stuff will make it to YouTube, some won't, but a lot of the things I'm doing, I'm just going to be doing on Patreon to just like remove the massive amount of stress that was just like weighing me down. Like it was not good. It was not good for my mental health. All right, back to the video. And on the influencer front, like if to me, listen, again, I'm probably gonna keep it more real than I should. I don't really give a fuck if you wanna buy these things. Like, if you wanna buy them, great, but like my goal is just to like share my love of makeup or my disappointment with you and have fun with it. If you use my links, great. If you don't, you don't. Like, it is what it is. I can't like, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm an influencer in the terms of like shilling stuff and selling stuff to you. If you buy it, great. If you don't, you don't. I do love the fact that I'm still able to receive PR, and I do share that on Instagram. I do share it in videos. I did buy this with my money. Hello. Not like that makes a difference, but I'm just saying it. But yeah, I feel like I'm a creator on Patreon. I am a Patreon creator, and when I feel like it, I put my videos up on YouTube. So that's that on that. That was a long answer. Next, how did you decide to become a content creator? I've answered this question a few times in like, not necessarily this way, but just doing Q&As with y'all. So I was very, like, I was in an extremely unhappy marriage. I was married to somebody who was just like emotionally abusive, alcoholic. It was a lot, and my only outlet for most of my life has always been like creative ventures. I really have something in my cleavage. Please hold. 'Twas a hair. I have retrieved it. Anyways, I was in this like awful relationship, and my only space to like feel normal and alive and calm was creating content, and I have continued to do that ever since. I've done that my entire life, just been like very creative. I've written stories, like I'm an author. Not published, but I've written like multiple stories and books and whatnot, and that was like when I was a kid. But I've always used creativity as like my outlet, and honestly, without that kind of creativity and that outlet, I will definitely say that I would not be here today. Like, I wouldn't be here today. I would have been overwhelmed by my feelings of stress and depression, and would have let that take me down. So yeah. An emotionally abusive alcoholic ex-husband is what brought me to YouTube. What's your experience with knowing other creators in life, good or bad? Listen, I feel like people want to be super diplomatic on this question, and I don't give a shit about diplomacy. Here's the thing. Some people are like your cup of tea, right? You meet them and you're like, you're just as awesome as I thought you were going to be. Other people, they're not. They just aren't. You realize that it's not even like values, like that plays a part in it, but you just realize that they're kind of an asshole. And once you realize that, you're like, yeah, I'm not into it. You know what I mean? And like, you just part ways. There's no hard feelings. I don't give a shit. Like, it's not like I'm going to, you know, be like counting for your downfall, although, but no, I mean, I really don't care. You know what I mean? Like, if we don't click, we don't click. If we don't get along, we don't get along. If we were kind of friends at one time and then we're like not now, it just is what it is. That's life. You know what I mean? I feel like most of my experiences, the majority of them, have been mostly positive, and I've had some shitty experiences. I think like you do with anyone in life. Like, it's not, there's just people I don't fucking care for. I don't care for them. Like, I don't like them. We were friends, we hung out, and now I don't like you. And it's fine. Like, I don't care. Like, it's not, and it's not something that you have to like share all over the internet and like subtweet and tweet about. And like, what? We're just not friends. I'm an adult. It's like, it's fine. I don't care.
Welcome back to the Elaboration Station, in which I elaborate again on another point. Essentially, I feel like a lot of us are coworkers, right? In this space, we're coworkers, and you don't like all of your coworkers, right? Like, you don't like everybody you work with. Well, neither do I. All right, done.
I'm probably an asshole to some other people. It's fine. Do you accept sponsorships, and how do you feel about them? First of all, I don't check my email enough. I don't, because honestly, like, I'm so tired a lot of times when I get home. I'm either like hopping onto Twitch now. Like, these days it's like I hop onto Twitch, play a little of Evil Genius 2. World domination is really hard. Or I'm hanging out on my Patreon. But like, I don't check my email enough. I would accept sponsorships, mostly like adult type shit. Like in gaming stuff. Like but I like, HelloFresh wouldn't be for me. Like, I'm gonna tell you, like, if you see a sponsorship from HelloFresh for me, that means I've gone to the sunken place. No offense to anybody who's done it. Here's why I say that for me. I don't cook. All right, my ADHD does not allow this. It does not. Every time I'm like, I'm gonna cook, right? If I'm not just standing there staring at the pot, like being like, watch the water boil, then like I'm gonna burn the water down. If you follow me on Twitter, you've seen that. Like you've seen the pot where I fucking forgot, y'all. I forgot. Like I started it, I was making ramen, and then just boop, it was gone. So, but yeah, I would accept sponsorships if they're offered, like good ones, but they have to be stuff that like I'm interested in. They don't necessarily have to be beauty related, but like, you know, bright sellers, because like I'm into wine, you know, wino, is that what it's called? I feel like it's vino, my bad. Oh, I used to buy vinos all the time, but like, yeah, I would accept, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with sponsorships. I mean, here's the thing, like I said, I'm gonna be super ridiculously way too fucking honest. One of the reasons that I moved everything and been like, my focus on Patreon is not just for like my peace of mind and my sense of like not having stress. It's also like people have gotten so used to having free content that like they're freely telling everyone how they won't watch a sponsorship, like a paid sponsorship in a video, and they skip it, and how they don't like ads, and like this content is free and it's not free to make, it's free for you to watch. So it's like, I feel like people are really just trying to like make their money as they should, and I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. You know, I would accept a sponsorship if it was right, but for the most part, like I just mind my business. Have you had an experience with a brand that left a bad taste in your mouth? I have not, but listen, I spend more of my time on indie brands, and I have not run into an indie brand that has personally done something where I was like, bitch, what? But yeah, I haven't had any bad experiences. Yeah, we'll just move on. I haven't had anything. Number 6, how do you deal with negative comments?
I don't fuck with you.
You little stupid ass bitch, I ain't giving a fuck. Okay, let me, like, honestly, I don't care. I know that seems like, wow, rude. I don't care. Strangers on the internet who show up to my channel to tell me I'm ugly or I'm stupid, uneducated, I don't know how to blend. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, what are you hoping? Because like my whole thought process is like, what are you hoping to accomplish by that? Are you hoping that you say that and I read that and I'm like, because like that's not what's happening. Like I have other shit to do. This is not my full-time job, obviously. Like this is not my full-time job. And even if it was, like a stranger on the internet isn't gonna hurt my feelings. Now there have been times where people have said things where that turned out to be very, very helpful. Like people telling me like, a couple people a long time ago would be like, oh, hey, the music's a little loud and I can't hear you. And I'm like, show you right, because I was editing with my noise canceling headphones on. So like I reminded myself now all the time, like when I'm editing, like, oh, before you put the music in, take those off, because you're gonna put the music up louder than you think you're going to. Like shit like that has been helpful, you know? And like even in the beauty news, someone was like, hey, that whoosh sound is really loud. And the best part of it is like they even try to temper it with like, maybe it's just me. I'm like, no, you're right, it is loud as shit. I wasn't thinking about, like I got focused on another part of that editing. So like that shit is helpful. Like I like that kind of stuff. Like, you know I didn't ask, but I also enjoy that people tell me that, because it makes me like make my content or whatever it is better. But like I don't care. Like if whatever day you're having, you needed to say something shitty to a stranger you don't know to feel better, then I hope you feel better. You know? That's that on that. What's your biggest pet peeve when it comes to comments? I think it just depends. Like I don't really have a big pet peeve, honestly. I really don't. I'm thankful that people comment at all. Like that's really cool. But like especially when y'all do like callbacks, like when I'm like, hey, you know, drop this if that, you know, and y'all do it, like it's amazing. Like that, I love that y'all do that. It really just like, especially like there are just days where I'm working really, really hard and I go to check on how the video is doing and I just see all the callbacks and it just like fucking makes my day. It makes me like, sometimes I just like work faster so that I can like get done with the day and come home and just like chill and like look at even more comments. But I don't really have a lot of pet peeves. Like I think the main one, I guess I would say these. One, if commenting on like somebody's skill level or whatever, or if somebody has like a blemish, like this doesn't happen to me per se, but like I've seen it happen in other creators' comments, like, oh, hey, like so-and-so has a really good way for you to get rid of acne, or, you know, so-and-so said, like, I feel like that's weird. Don't do that to people. They didn't ask you for like input on their blending ability or any of those things. Like it's not okay to do that, especially if they didn't ask. And then also promoting other creators like underneath someone else's thing. You know what I mean? Like not in a positive way, you know? Especially if the video has nothing to do with it. If it's like like I'm doing this tag video and someone else is like, Back to the Browse was better. Like what the fuck? Like come on. But otherwise I don't really have any pet peeves. I'm really happy that people comment. Like you literally took time out of your day while watching my video to leave a comment. Fuck yeah, I'm down for it. What is your favorite part of being a content creator? The creativity part. Hello. I love creating stuff. I love sharing my weird life and like my weird thoughts on things. I love sharing that. I like putting it out into the world. I like and it's dependent, right? I like taking my photos and doing my little like reels on Instagram. I really enjoy playing games on Twitch and like having fun with people and being able to talk back and forth because it's a full live stream. So like I can actually like kind of talk to you while I'm playing. And then like on I guess YouTube Patreon front, I really like being able to interact with everybody and just like have a good time, you know? I think it's fun. I like creating content that resonates with people. It's not all going to, you know what I mean? Like this is one channel. I don't feel like there is a need or a necessity for me to create additional channels. I won't do it. It's just, to me, it's a very pointless endeavor to do. Like if you already have a monetized channel, like I would need a significant amount of, you know, subscribers on this channel. Like that only works for large content creators, because if you have like 150,000 subscribers, you create another channel, the chances of that other channel getting monetized are pretty high. But I'm just keeping all my shit here, and I just like making stuff that resonates with people one way or the other. What is your least favorite part of being a content creator? Well, it used to be YouTube itself. I'm dead ass. It used to be YouTube itself because I do like to interact with people. I do like to be able to respond to my comments. I like to be able to like be out there, and I feel like with the way that my job is, I just can't do that. And so refocusing things has made it so that I can do that in a way that makes sense for me. Everybody who's channel members and all of that, like I can respond to all of their comments and like kiki back and forth and do all of that stuff. And I also think the other thing is that people always think that you should be growing or want to grow or like, and it's not that I don't, it's just that I know for a fact that YouTube isn't where like I'm going to grow. That's not where I'm going to grow, and that's okay, and it's fine. But I feel like there's a lot of people who just like look and like, oh my God, you should have like this many subscribers. Like, it's fine, fam. This isn't where like YouTube is the platform that I put stuff on. Like this is where everything is held. It's my storage facility. But like where I'm doing all the good and all the fun shit is elsewhere. Like I'm just not YouTube. The stress, like I said previously, it's too much. And like YouTube was my like least favorite part of being a content creator. But honestly, like now I'm like rock and rolling with it. I'm like, this is good. I'm having a good time. Fun times. Do you edit your own content? And if so, do you enjoy it? Yes, I do. And yes, I do. I have so much fun editing because I'm always finding like a new or different way of doing something, different clips that I can put in that I find fun.
Sorry, again.
What do I tell you guys before every meeting?
Try not to punch people.
Try not to punch people.
Yeah, I really enjoy editing. Like, it's one of my favorite things to do, and I edit fairly quickly, so I do enjoy that as well. Sometimes it takes a bit on like little parts where I'm like really trying to make some shit happen, but I really like it. I know a lot of people don't like editing, and I actually really enjoy it. Like, I film to edit. Does that make sense? It does now. Where do you draw the line in regard to sharing on social media? I mean, I just, relationships, number one, hardcore, like, that is a stop for me. I have, like, when I was dating, like, back when I was dating, I had relationships, like, end over that because I didn't want to be posted on their socials and any of that shit. And it's not even just for my YouTube channel. It's like, I just feel like posting a relationship on social media is not good for me. And I also was burned horribly by it. You know what I mean? I was burned horribly by like someone who we had actually had, like my ex-husband, we had full-on conversations about not being the couple that does that shit. And when we're getting divorced, like he's posting a whole thing on Facebook like a lunatic about how we tried to work things out. And I was like, bitch, nobody needs to know this. Like that's the thing. I'm like, Nobody needs to know that. Like, my relationship is private. You're a fucking weirdo for doing that. Like, I don't know what you were trying to do, but it's dumb, and it's like an unnecessary line. And so like, I don't like posting, like, that's the kind of shit I will never post a relationship. I can't do it. I can't. That is my big line. Like, nope. If I'm in a relationship with somebody, y'all ain't gonna know. I don't do that. Because people are fucking weird and they just don't understand. Like, are you okay? So like that. And I think if there's anything I don't want to share with like everyone at large, I just don't. And then if there's things that are just for the fam, then I share it with just the fam. Like, that's how it works. Name one thing you wish you knew when you were starting out. I wish I'd known that, honestly, it would be, like, I'm glad I realized that starting channel memberships and Patreon was a good idea. I think if you're a person of color, or, if you are a person of color, then I definitely recommend, regardless of your channel size, that you start a Patreon, because YouTube is always playing YouTube games, and I like that when you do that. I know it's like, oh, are you sponsored by Patreon? No, I'm not. But I think that when you do that, the stress of looking, because like, I don't know how many people who are watching this are content creators. If you are, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Staring at those analytics, and like, it starts putting you in this position where you're creating content you don't enjoy, and because the audience likes that, or the analytics are showing that the audience like that. And for me, it's like, yes, I want to create content you want to watch, but like, also, I don't want to feel forced to create this every time. Like, my Snarky Beauty News does well, but I'm also not putting it on like a specific schedule, or like, I don't want to feel like, oh, I have to have this up every week because it gets views, and like, because then at that point, I'm not having fun with it anymore. Like, it's forced, and I'm just like hunting down beauty news. And I also feel like it would cause me to get like mean-spirited with it if I were trying to do it weekly, you know, or trying to do it on a set time. I feel like I would become mean-spirited, and that is not, you know, how I want it to be. I want it to be like fun and snarky. Like, that's the point. It's supposed to be a good time, not a hurtful time. And so I feel like the number one thing, I guess what I'm really saying is, I just wish that I had known that you create content you want to create, and you also create content that people want to see, but don't get yourself stuck in this niche where you feel like you have to do all the things that people want you to do. Because a lot of times people will say they want something, and you do that thing, and then like, they don't watch it. And you're like, so yeah, like, if you're a content creator, don't let them numbers like fuck you up. You know what I mean? If you're a person of color, if you don't have a Patreon now or channel memberships going, get those things going, because YouTube fluctuates and they're not gonna help push you. You know what I mean? Especially if you're brown. Like, if you're this color brown, they ain't pushing you nowhere but down. That rhymed. All right. Is there any change you'd like to make to your content in the future? I already said that. I already said basically what I'm doing. Like, I'm pulling back from YouTube itself, and I'm glad I'm doing that. Like I said before, I don't believe in creating multiple channels, because I think that we're just continuing to tell YouTube and the YouTube algorithm that in order for you to be successful, you have to have a niche, and I think that the niche is very dangerous and damaging to people's mental health. That is my opinion. You don't have to believe it, but you can see it in action on YouTube. I think that when you look at what happens to people when you get stuck in, I must do this thing, then this becomes a job. Like a job. And the point of wanting to be a content creator, or for some people they like influencer, whatever it is that you get to do something that you enjoy. And I would not find it enjoyable anymore if I was like constantly only doing this one thing. I have a channel, it is monetized. I don't see why I can't just do the things that I enjoy. And like, I incorporate makeup into the things that I enjoy because I fucking love makeup. But I like media, and I like talking about the shitty shows I watch. So like, that's a good time. And you know, I have videos come up whenever they come up. I don't know what order y'all get them in, but they'll show up. What company collab is your dream? I don't know. I don't really think about it because I just don't expect that kind of success. It's not like me being like down on myself or anything. Like, that's not what it is. I'm just realistic. I don't expect that kind of success. I actually just don't really think about it. Every time y'all ask me this question, I always go, because I don't know the answer. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know. I don't really think about it. I don't dream in collabs. What other creator do you admire, want to work with? So here's the thing. I have literally worked with almost every single creator I have wanted to work with. From James Welsh to Jen Love to Teresa is Dead to Tina the Fancy Face to T the Nappy Headed Hobbit. Like, I've literally worked with Abby Williams, every single creator I have ever wanted to work with on this platform, I have. I think there's one left on my list. Hannah Smoky Glow. I would like to just hang out and talk shit about reality television because I feel like we feel the same about a lot of these. Because listen, all y'all get out the way because listen, this is just me and Hannah right now. Just shh. I feel the same way about Shake. It does suck that, he was right. You know what I mean? He was right because love isn't blind. You know what I mean? But he didn't have to be a dick. And it was very, I could feel you, swallowing vomit having to say that. Just well, I don't want to have to agree. You know what I mean? I got you. But that's what I do. I like talking shit about reality TV shows with other people, and I think that would be fun to just sit with Hannah and talk shit about it. It would be a good time. But that's it. But I've literally worked with everybody I've wanted to work with on this platform. Every single person I've wanted to work with, I have been fortunate enough to work with. That's wild. Now that I say that, it's wild. I've worked with Robert. That's fucking nuts. Go me. This is why I stay small. All right, last question. I feel like it's the last question. Oh, no, it's not. It's the second to last. What kind of content do you hate? True crime and makeup. I hate that. I'm never gonna like that. Cause that shit's wild. Family vlog channels. True crime and makeup and family vlog channels. Family vlog channels are fucking wild. I don't understand how they're allowed to do this. I think it's disgusting because I just think how fucking weird is it? You know what I mean? Think about how weird it is. If you were a child, your first period, your first your training broad, all of this shit, your first date, I just wouldn't, because I even think about it from even old school reality television. There's a level of that's just weird as shit that parents are subjecting you to it and you don't have a say. You know what I mean? You're going to school and everybody at school saw your shitty diaper. I hate that. It's gross. It's gross. And obviously true crime and makeup because it's very insensitive. I'm sorry. If you like it, you like it. Two different strokes, different folks. I don't like it because I just find that whole concept gross. Have you ever had to deal with cancel culture, and if so, how? I don't even like the term cancel culture because it's lost its meaning. Once the conservatives and all the morons got a hold of it, it just lost any meaning. But I've had to deal with it personally, very minimally, and then for others, here's the thing, people are gonna do what they're gonna do, and they're gonna have people who are gonna watch them regardless of what a monster they are or what an asshole they are, how racist they are, homophobic, turfy, all of these are things that these people will be, and they're always gonna have an audience. Do you know what I mean? There is no way to actually cancel those people. They will always have an audience. But seeing it happen to someone, or actually some ones that I have known, has been extremely stressful. Not really for me, but just watching them go through that stress. I think what makes it really, really difficult is that these people personally, and the things that you see people say about them, fucking harsh, fam. Fucking harsh. People go in on people that they just don't even know. And I get that you're basing it off of what you see of them in however long that their videos are, right? But there's just this level where it starts going too far. I feel 9 times out of 10, it literally goes from this person did this bad thing to they are ugly and they don't deserve to live. It's just, it's very quick how it shifts. It shifts so fast from you fucked up to people wishing that they would unalive themselves, which, what the fuck? How do we get there? But also, I feel people get quote unquote canceled for some dumb shit. You know what I mean? For shit to me that I'm are we really going after them for this? Is this the issue? Is this what we're gonna put our foot down for? I feel very much we need to be very selective about what we're trying to come after people for. That's just my opinion, because I feel like if you're continuously going after people for like penny ante bullshit, then when they really do fuck up, like a la Shane Dawson and Jefferson Starship, or Jalopity Staircase as I like to refer to him. When you have Jalopity Staircase and Shane Dawson, it takes so long for people to see it because people have been like picking at every little thing, you know what I mean? It's like when you're in a relationship with someone and they're just constantly picking at like little shit, you kind of don't notice it, you know? And then one day they pick at something that's like important and you don't give a fuck about that important thing anymore because you're so fucking fed up with all the little things that they've like poked at you for, and then you just come at them for all the little things and you're like, you know what? You also said that I need to paint my toenails every day. Well, baby, I don't have time. You know what I mean? And that like, and the real issue is that you don't spend time with him. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like that the whole Jalopity Staircase thing really took things next level. I don't like that person. I don't know them. I'm sorry to that man. But like, I feel like people really got on a high horse after that took place and started to feel like it was their place to like literally call out everybody for, you know, sneezing wrong. Be like, oh, their sneeze sounded like they were saying the N-word, and like they just literally sneezed. Calm the fuck down. I feel like we've gotten to a place now where it doesn't feel like it's either all or nothing. And then also the people who should be getting like, you know, a white glove to the face like Samak aren't. And I also think that when you're a smaller creator, nobody gives a fuck about what you're doing down here. Like, them's the facts. Nobody gives a fuck what you're doing. They're literally gonna wait. They're going to wait for you to get successful. And then all this shit that they've been posting about and talking about in all these forums, it's gonna come and bite you, you know? Because like, what's gonna happen is you're gonna fuck up at some point higher up in your career, then they're gonna come for you. And you know, it is what it is. Apologize now, I guess. Apologize now, so when it comes up, you already have your fucking apology. You know, I apologize, like, because they're coming for you. But that's it. Like, I don't get it. I don't feel like cancel culture is a thing. I think that's like a very white thing. I'm like, no offense, but like, I think it's very white now, cancel culture. Just so like, I don't get it. So that's that on that. All right, y'all, that is it. That is the video. I hope you enjoyed this and my unabashed honesty. Now I'm gonna get canceled. Oops. All right, if you would, please do me a favor, give this video a big thumbs up, because honestly, that pushes me further down into the algorithm so that I can keep doing whatever the fuck I want to. And as usual, huge shout out to my patrons and spooky bays. Yeah, without which I truly would not be able to keep the bats in the belfry and the spiders firmly ensconced in their webs. Please make sure you're keeping an eye on your YouTube notifications, because I do pop up live randomly and we'll be doing so more now. That's for patrons and channel members. And for all of you who watch, like, share, and subscribe, I appreciate you as well. Remember, it costs $0 to be kind. It's so good for your soul, because if you don't take care of it, I'm sure shit coming for yours. Until next time, XOXO, Gothic girl. Now, before we get to the tag, many of you were interested in seeing what the Odin's Eye and Angelica Nyquist palette. What have you been doing? Like, do you want me to squirt your cheese in there? Because the only reason I don't put your cheese in there is because you sometimes get the shits from it. Now, before we get started, I had asked the question on a previous video if you were interested in seeing a look from the Odin's Eye Angelica Nyquist. Okay. I'm not a fan of that.